What's up? This what's up? This is Chris from The Longest Way, and this is my last full day in Turkmenistan. Iran is not far anymore. Maybe 50 kilometers, maybe 45, something like that. It's right there. Yesterday we made camp out here in the desert. You know, it's sort of like a steppe desert, some shrubs and everything. And just as we make camp, this little dog appears and he's like super friendly. It's a very little dog, maybe 6 months or something. And I pet it a little bit, we play a little bit, give him some water, give him some bread. Decided to call him Bread because he liked the bread so much. We didn't have any meat, so Nang, Turkmen for bread. That's his name, Nang. And it was apparent that he was a runaway herder dog, shepherd dog. He was probably going to die in the desert because not much food, not much water. So for some reason, Nang stayed the night with us, and in the morning he started walking with me. You know, I'm just walking and he's like a little bit behind me, and I can hear his little feet on the road. And as it gets hotter, you know, it's like 9 a.m. now. It's not really that hot, but apparently he thought it was hot, so he'd always like kind of try to find shelter in the shade of the caboose. And I'd cut out a little plastic bottle, you know, the bottom, so he'd have a nice cup for drinking. Yeah, we really liked each other, I think. Or maybe he liked the caboose. You know, the caboose can be real charming. Right? Old lady. But the thing is, what are you going to do with a dog? I think at the border they're going to want to see some papers. Don't have any papers. Don't know if he's vaccinated or anything. But then, you know, you start daydreaming and you're like walking here and you hear the little feet on the asphalt and you're like, huh, what if Nang and me somehow made it past the border, and then we'd be Nang and Chris in Iran, and then we'd be Nang and Chris in Azerbaijan, and you know, that'd be awesome. Then I wouldn't know how to like go about staying in hotels with Nang. How's that work? Probably not gonna take him, leave him outside, and then end of October I gotta go to Taiwan for like I don't know, 10 days or something, and then it's another month in Germany. So how does that work? And we're just gonna leave him with somebody in Iran? But then I figure if there's a will, there's a way. And here I am like daydreaming, but it's just a daydream. And you run into these herders on their donkeys with like a herd of sheep. And we're like, do you know this dog? And they're like, nah. And they're like, we can't keep it because we got 5 big mean dogs and they're gonna just eat it. Eat Nang. So I'm like, you know, inside I'm like, yay. Okay, let's go. And I fucking whistle. But those other dogs, they don't eat Nang. They really like Nang. He's like fucking 6 months old. So they fucking like him. So the herder is like, whatever, you know. Just leave him with us. He likes the crew. He apparently likes the herd. You know, we'll take him. And inside of me, something goes, fuck. And I know it's not right, because it probably would have lost him at the border anyway. Some fucking border guard asshole would have said like, oh, where's the paper? Ah, blah, blah, blah. Need document X1082 or something. That would have sucked. So this is better. You know, Nang is a shepherd dog. He should be with a herd. And he looked really happy running around with the bigger dogs. And he's a fucking, like, if he's like 6 months old, he's a little kid. So, you know, he's got protection. And it's nice. But y'all know what? I'm fucking sad. That was fucking nice. Walking around with a dog. Still got the caboose, so that's good. Sorry, I'm allergic. Fucking allergies, you know. Yeah. Alright. So here we are on the edge of the former Soviet Empire, of the Russian Empire, out here. And it's ridiculous how far it extends into territory that is not Russian at all. And you know what else is ridiculous? That fucking Stalin used to promote himself and his empire as some sort of anti-imperialist force, because apparently, you know, the West, if you want to call it that, was imperialist, and he wasn't. But look at his dominion. Look at this territory that first Tsarist Russia, they just gobbled up. They just took. And then he kept. And where do you do nuclear tests? France fucking did it in Algeria, if I'm not mistaken. They wouldn't do that shit in the Provence. You do it in the colony. Same for fucking Stalin. You got an atomic bomb. You exploded somewhere in Central Asia. And you're like, fuck them. I'm not gonna do that shit around, I don't know, Peter or Moscow. So yeah, I think one reason why Europeans have such a hard time getting along with, or no, I shouldn't phrase it like that. I should say the other Europeans have such a hard time getting along with the Europeans that are Russians, because that's what they are, just Europeans. I think it's because all of the European powers they all had to give up almost all of their colonies. You know, like France still has some shit in the Antilles. England has, I don't know, St. Helena or some shit like that. Oh, and the Falklands, because they're really important. Let's have a war. But Russia, the European power, that is Russia, that is just as European as Poland or the Czech Republic or whoever, they just kept everything. You know, why would Kamchatka, Yakutia, Primoria, why would these eastern parts, Siberia, why would they be Russian? You know, they'd be as Russian as fucking India is British. It's just something that they took. They expanded east and expanded and expanded into territory where other people lived. The Yakutians, the Yawinki, bunch of other people. And then they even took Central Asia. And Central Asia, after the fall of the Soviet Union, said fuck you and went independent. Wonder why? Maybe because it was never supposed to be Russian anyway. It was just a colony. And they didn't exactly go about building up an industry or something. It just kind of, you know, Stalin, the Soviet Union, they go like, okay, so we need a bunch of cotton. Let's have a bunch of cotton in Uzbekistan and Turkmenistan. They got the sun. They don't have the water, but what the hell? We're just going to divert some rivers. Oh, that's going to kill like the ecosystem and the Aral Lake. But you know, screw them. It's just a colony. They can be happy that we bring them European civilization. We bring them education. We bring them all these things. Yeah. And then you know, if you want to call them the natives, they're supposed to be happy and thankful. That's what colonialism is all about. And then you're really surprised if they're not. You're like, huh? But we gave them a railroad. They're still not happy? We gave them roads and schools and all these nice things, and they're still not happy. How can that be? Well, how can that be? So I think even today, the rest of Europe, if Russia was really just Russia, just like historical pre-expansion phase Russia, they'd be, I don't know, a little bigger than Ukraine or something. I don't know. I'm not, you know, I don't know what would constitute pre-imperial Russia, but I think the rest of Europe would have a much easier time, a much better time hanging out with them if they weren't so fucking big. Like, you could put Europe, the rest of Europe, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 times into the territory that is called the Russian Federation. So how are you going to be like France or Germany or, you know, Belgium and go like, oh, that's an equal partner? Yeah, but anyway. How's our horizon here? Is it as askew as my mood? Let's see. Oh, fucking course it is. You know, I can see that shit on my cell phone. Man. And I was gonna make a Let's Walk video with Nang. Ooh, shit. Oh man. Ah, you fucking idiot. There's like this huge bug on the road and I try not squashing him with with a caboose, and yeah, he moves, and then you get this sound. Fucking asshole. Man, I don't know what's wrong with me here. Maybe it's because I didn't really sleep at night. I wanted to make a time lapse of the Milky Way with a tent and the caboose. Now, my camera is pretty good when it comes to low light conditions, so Milky Way is no problem. But the thing is, if the tent is just dark, then it doesn't really look that good. It looks a little bit just like a blob at the bottom of the screen. So I figured I'd put a flashlight into the tent, set it to like very low, and even shade it with a piece of tissue, and I went through all that. But the thing is, time lapses take a long time. It took like, I don't know, 3 hours or something, and I'm supposed to sleep in that tent, so I basically slept with the light on, which means just, you know, waking up all the fucking time. There's some cows there. I'm gonna take a picture of those cows. Do what the fuck I always do. So if you're looking at my arm right now, I don't know. If you're not Nang, I don't care. I don't fucking care. And there's more cows. Tonight's our last night, and we're thinking about camping close to the water, but then there's these villages and a town close to the water, so we don't know if that's gonna be possible. But anyway, I bought a bunch of Turkmen vodka just to try. Bought like 3 bottles, so we're, you know, each have a glass each or something to celebrate with the boss and the Don. They're really nice. I'm very lucky to have them. And then it's motherfucking Iran. Or should I say beautiful Iran? A lot of travelers that I meet, basically all of them, they say Iran is the best. So we'll see. See the cows there? I don't know how much you can see that because you're in a wide angle. Let's see. Maybe you can see them. Like wandering here through the nothingness. Then there's 2 donkeys and what looks like a straw hut up there. And Nang is already 2 or 3 kilometers behind us, and it's goodbye Nang. Looks like what I imagine parts of Africa to look like, actually. Like, not exactly desert, but like savanna, is that a word? You know, they get tigers here. Well, not here in this area, but a little bit north, close to the Ural Lake. And they would have a bunch of more tigers. But then they destroyed the Ural Lake. And who did? Motherfucking Stalin did. And did he care? Nope. Because, you know, fuck the colony. Fuck the tigers. Alright. We're reaching the edge of the former Soviet Empire. Nang is a little bit behind us. And I'm sad. You guys have a good day. Dude, that's some dudes.